Good morning, students. Welcome to English online class. This is Manigandan. Today we are going to see Unit 1 Supplementary God Sees the Truth but Waits. It is written by Leo Tolstoy. In this story, the main themes are do good even to your enemies, and forgiveness and forgetfulness is the best form of revenge. Do good even to your enemies, and forgiveness and forgetfulness is the best form of revenge. So, the main characters in this story, Ivan Dmitrich Aksinov, shortly called as Aksinov. Aksinov is the main character in this story, and his wife and two children. He had two children. And third character, Makar Semyonich. Ivan Dmitrich Aksinov, his wife and two children, Makar Semyonich. Let us move to the main content. Aksinov is a young merchant. He is a young merchant. He is really talented fellow. He is an handsome. He lives in a place called Vladimir. He lives in a place called Vladimir. That place is situated in Russia. He is a young man. He got two houses and a shop. He is curled headed man and he is fond of singing. Before marriage, he was irresponsible. He had not taken any serious steps in his life. He was very playful. He wasted all his money. But after marriage, he is very responsible, stopped drinking. He earns money for his family. He realizes the responsibilities in his life. One day, Axino wanted to go to Nizhny Fair. Fair means here சந்தைன்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, that is fair. So Axino wanted to go to Nizhny Fair. But the day before, his wife had a bad dream. What is the dream? When he returns from the fair, he will have a grey hair, which means old look. She told Axino, she asked not to go to the fair because I had a bad dream about you. When you return from the fair, you will have a grey hair. But as like all the husbands, he doesn't listen his wife words. He disregards. So he started his journey. On his journey, he met a merchant. He was his friend. He met a merchant. He was his friend. He comes from Ryazan, the place Ryazan. They stayed in a same hotel but different rooms. They stayed in the same hotel but different room. But next day, Axino started very early. He woke up early morning. He started very early. So as I told, Axino started before the dawn. Before the dawn, he started to work. On the way, suddenly police followed him and caught him, and he was arrested. He could not know what is happening around him, why he was arrested by the police, and what was the crime he committed. He doesn't know anything. So immediately the police checked Axino's bag where they found out a blood stained knife. So when the police checked Axino's bag, they found out a blood-stained knife. So when the police found a knife, the Axino really doesn't know anything about the knife in his bag. So after that, they had taken him to the prison. He was arrested and they had taken him to the prison. After that, somehow the wife knew the news when the husband was arrested. And she came to the prison and she asked the permission from higher authorities. She met Axinov, her husband, and she asked too many questions to her husband. And she also suspects whether the husband committed a crime. She talked with her husband long time, and wife asked too many questions to him. But his innocence is never proved because the wife also doesn't accept. Wife also doesn't listen his words. So next, what happens? Wife asked the higher authorities, but the higher authorities never help him. So the next day, the police sent Axino to mines. If you see the KGF film, if you know the mine, the prisoners, usually the prisoners work in that place. So the police sent Axino to mines for working. Actually, maximum all the prisoners are working in mines. So the wife asked the higher authorities, they couldn't help. So the police sent Axino to mines. He is working in mines. So why Axino was arrested by the police? The friend who was staying with him, he was killed by someone. So only Axino was arrested by the police. They found a blood-stained knife in his bag. And finally, the police sent him to mines to work. So nobody can help him. At last, he lost his hope because no one can help him. So finally, he believed God only. He started praying, whole life dedicated for praying and believed God. In the prison, there was a church where he starts singing because he's a fond of singing. Where he starts singing. He was doing some work in prison, that is making some boots. For that he earns some money. He used that money and he bought a book. The book name is called The Life of Science. SAINT, Science. He has taken many lessons from the book and the church as well as in the prison. Every Sunday he sings the song in the church and the prisoners listen. He is a very gentle, innocent, So all the people like him, even the authorities started like him. And they started to call him as grandfather because he was in the prison nearly 26 years. So all the prisoners called him as grandfather. So as usual, a new set of prisoners came to the jail. A new set of prisoners came to the jail. So among them, a prisoner name is called Makar Semyonich. He is a tall man, 60 years old. So they will converse with each other. They'll inquire. So why did you come to the prison? What crime did you commit? So they inquire each other. And Makar Semyonich said that he is from Vladimir. Vladimir is the native place for Aksinov. So immediately when Aksinov hears Makar Semyonich is coming from Vladimir, he is interested and intends to listen his words. Makar Semyonich said, I committed many epic crimes. At the time, the police did not arrest me, but I committed a small one, so the police arrested me. So these words are observed by Axino very clearly. So somehow Axino guesses he was the person who commits the crime. He was the person who killed the friend because he is from Vladimir. His speech, his activities, everything, it clearly shows that he was the person who committed the crime. So Axino is interested to listen his words. So after hearing these words, he was so angry. Axino was angry and frustrated. One stage he felt sleepless because the crime which was committed by Makar Semyonich. But he was punished by the law nearly 26 years. He lost his family. He lost nearly 26 years in his life. One point he found and realized that there is no use of angry with him because almost he lost his life. So he stopped that kind of thinking because 26 years he spent his life in prison. He lost his life, his family, everything. So Makar Semyonich is actually a criminal. He was the person who killed Maxinov's friend. And one day, Makar Semyonich he dug a tunnel in the prison because he wanted to escape from the jail. But it was noticed by Axinov, and also the policeman found out there was a dug in the tunnel. So the police asked all the prisoners who did dug a tunnel, who was did that activity. But it was clearly known by Axinov. The policeman asked Axinov because Axinov was a true person, he was an innocent person, he knows everything. So the policeman asked Axinov who was the person dug a tunnel. Axinov clearly knows that Makar Semenich was the person who dug the tunnel, but he did not say the truth to the police. So the policeman leaves all the prisoners immediately. So Makar Semenich started feeling very guilty because he only committed the crime. At the very night he went to Axinov's room, he said that I only killed the person, I only committed the crime. So he asked him to forgive him. Makar Semenich said to Axinov, if he says to the police, they will release you immediately. But Axinov did not like because 26 years he spent the life in prison. He never goes out because he lost his business, life, family, everything. So the order came. So the procedure was over. The next day, Axinov will be released by the police. So before order comes, Axinov died in the prison. Axinov died in prison. Before that, he said that he wants to go to the God. Axinov said that he wants to go to the God. He reached the God. That is the title. God sees the truth but waits. In the beginning, I said, do good even to your enemies. Here, at the end of the story only, Makar Semenich came and said the truth. He only committed the crime, but still he did good for Makar Semenich. And forgiveness and forgetfulness is the best form of revenge. So Axinov forgives Makar Semenich and also he forgot the crime, everything. So it is also one of the best form of revenge the enemies. So finally, Makar Semenich accepted his crime, but Axinov did not because he lost his life almost. So he wants to go to the God. So God only know the truth. I think you can understand the story. Read the paragraph. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you, students.